And what is it that we have here? You know, when the cook told me that there was a rat in the galley, this wasn't exactly what I had in mind. I suppose it's a good thing then I didn't tell him to just simply throw it overboard and be done with it. This is usually the part where you say you're welcome. If you're still so offended by receiving my mercy, I'm more than happy to have the cook send you over the side. That's what I thought. Now then, it's very apparent that you're not the sailor type. No. Those delicate little hands of yours have never seen a hard day's work. Which tells me that they're much more used to holding teacups and pencils. A scholarly type. That's how I sees you. Though if my initial assessment of you's incorrect, please do feel free to correct me. Ask anyone in my crew. I'm a most open-eared captain. You know, I'm sure that my boots are quite fascinating. But I don't know if you know this, but it's poor manners to avoid eye contact when someone's looking at you. So how's about you? Bring your eyes up to meet mine. There we are. Isn't that so much better? You see, being on a ship, as I am, has its ups and downs. But one thing I do long for is civilized conversation. And part of civilized conversation is meeting one's gaze. Though with that being said, I suppose I am partially to blame for the situation here. I am the one, after all, who asked you to be brought to me and restrained. So, what do you propose we do about that? You there. Away with ye. I can't help but notice that you haven't left. You really think I'm going to be overpowered by a subdued young woman? Do you think that little of your captain? Perhaps you'd like to be keel-hauled. I'm sure it'll be a long time for you to think about what you've done, whilst you're bouncing off the bottom of the ship. That's what I thought. Out! You would not believe how hard it is to keep up that accent. What? You think I talk like that all the time? No. You see, much like yourself, young lady, I'm also cut from a finer cloth than those who work under me. But, unlike yourself, I understand the importance of keeping up appearances. It wouldn't do if a pirate captain were to sound too educated. Not to say that you can't be a privateer and also have an education, only that those of the rougher areas of life don't necessarily appreciate being ordered around by someone whom they deem as being overly privileged. But yes, I'm getting ahead of myself. You're still in your binds. How about I do something about that? Hold your hands up. Stop shaking. If you move too much, I'm going to miss. And as aesthetically pleasing as some of my crew may find it, I don't particularly care for hooks. There. All better? Good. Now then, if you would be so kind as to humor me, have a seat. It's not every day that someone gets invited to the captain's table, especially not after you so rudely stowed away on my ship. You're certainly getting a lot better treatment than the last person who tried that. Now, would you mind telling me exactly what you thought you were doing, coming aboard a pirate ship? I have to say, for as educated as you look, that was not the smartest decision you could have made today. Aha. You thought you were stowing away aboard a naval vessel. Because that's so much better. Well, then I do believe that it confirms even more how far from the water you've lived your life. Here's a pro tip. If a ship pulls out of the dock at night, and they have black sails, it's not a naval vessel. But now I have a new question. What exactly did you think you were doing trying to go aboard a naval vessel? Remaining tight-lipped, I see. I suppose you're more than welcome to have your secrets. Of course, you're very far from land, and you're on my ship, and we're not on some sort of pleasure cruise, so I'm going to need some answers. Nice try. However, one thing that you forgot in your made-up story. Złote Portowe does not have a governor. Well, I suppose now that you mention it, I do remember that they had a governor. Although how long ago that was, I don't even know at this point. You mean to tell me that you're looking for him? And why exactly is that? What? You need your job back as a secretary? He's your father. Well, assuming that I believe you, you just get more and more interesting by the moment. Very well. Let's say that I agree to help you in your endeavor. What do I get out of it? You're being serious. You're offering to work on my ship for me. Well, as tempting as it may be for me to be able to see you try and hoist something, let's both face it. You are no sailor. No. What you are is a distraction. A distraction that my sailors don't need. But I can't exactly just have you locked away in the galley somewhere. How about this? I'm in need of an assistant. A right hand, if you will. Especially after my first mate decided that he took issue with how I ran my ship. And since he was clearly unhappy with his current position, I decided to offer him a new job as an anchor. Haven't heard a complaint since. Oh, the job's not too taxing. You'll simply be responsible for all of the things that I don't like to waste my time on, but still need doing. Things like ensuring that the rations are distributed evenly, communicating with the navigator, making sure that we're on course, bookkeeping, essentially. It's either that, or we find the nearest deserted island and wish you well on your journeys. The choice is yours. That's what I thought. Well, now that we've got that sorted, there's only one thing left. That would be the matter of appearances. Oh, yes. Believe it or not, but having the right look is very important on a pirate ship. That, and I can't exactly have you meandering around the ship dressed as you are. As I said, you're a distraction. You're welcome to sort through my clothing and find something more appropriate. This will serve two things. One, it will set your status above that of the average sailors. And two, it'll mark you as mine. Even though you'll essentially be nothing more than a glorified secretary, I don't like the idea of my sailors getting any ideas. I'm more than generous enough already when it comes to dividing up the spoils. I wouldn't say that it's too much that I keep something pretty for myself once in a while. Would you? It's charming how you keep answering these rhetorical questions. Now then, get changed. I'll expect you to be above deck in 20 minutes.